golfers, one of the biggest issues we do see on a regular basis with a lot of people that struggle with contact issues with their irons, the club head reaches its lowest point before the golf ball. So if you struggle with tops, thins and also a lot of heavy shots, the contribution of that is your weight is too far behind the golf ball impact. Club head hits the ground before impact, so the club lengthens too quickly, your right arm starts to lengthen too quickly, and then from there the club head hits the ground before the golf ball, the leading edge starts to work up, and then we add lots of loft. We get an impact position that looks like this. Grip end of the club points towards your right hip, club head overtakes the hands. We add lots of loft, but also the ball is going to reluctantly go to the left. So when release club early, club face shuts down, but we add lots of loft. If you're this golfer, the one thing that we need to diagnose is what is causing the main symptom of our golfers. As they come into the impact position, this left shoulder will start to work up too quickly. So left shoulder works up too quickly, your right foot stays planted on the ground, and then from there this right arm starts to straighten too quickly. So left shoulder going up, right shoulder staying back, and right arm lengthening or elongating too quickly, and then from there the club head reaches its lowest point before the golf ball. First thing we need to educate ourselves doing is, okay, what's the opposite of the left shoulder going up the way? Is the left shoulder needs to stay a little bit more lower in transition, so chest and left shoulder staying down for a little bit longer in transition, and then we're going to keep the bend in the right arm for longer. Bring the club back. As I come into the downswing, I'm going to feel like my weight starts to move into my left side by the time I finish my backswing. My left shoulder and chest are going to stay down. You can see from there automatically as my weight transfers into the left side, left shoulder and chest stay down. My hands are going to automatically start to work ahead of the club head. A great analogy is try and keep left shoulder and chest down for a fraction of a second longer, and try and get your left hand past the golf ball as you come into impact. Place the golf club behind your right elbow. As we come into impact, if you straighten the right arm too early, my right arm straightens in relation to where my right foot's positioned. We want to feel like we try and push our right elbow ahead of our right foot. So we're trying to let the right elbow slide down the golf club. And a great feeling to help us educate ourselves to do this is think about your right elbow always leading your right wrist. Right elbow gets to the middle of your body before your right wrist. Rehearse your impact position. I've got a little bit more extension in that right wrist. I maintain the bend in the right arm, and then from there I'm going to deal off this club coming into impact. As soon as we run out of right arm, where my right arm starts to straighten too quickly, we add too much loft. We turn a 7 iron into a 9 iron. We increase the dynamic loft. We increase our chance of hitting the ground before the golf ball, but angle of attack becomes too shallow. What we know consistently with your iron play is we want to always hit the golf ball first and take a small compressed divot after the golf ball. That divot size is depending on what club you're going to use. So the club is going to collide with the ground further ahead with more loft. The less loft we've got, the low point is slightly closer to where the golf ball is located. So we're always going to be a little bit steeper with our shorter irons compared to our longer irons. It's how we manage that. Many golfers are too shallow with their wedges, and that's where we create an increase in loft, but also a lack of consistency. From address, grip end of the club points towards my belt buckle. We're going to go to impact, left shoulder and chest stay down. Grip end of the club is going to move from belt buckle, dissecting through left hip, my hands at the head. I maintain the bend in my right arm for longer, so right elbow is going to get to the middle of your body before your right wrist. Right elbow always leads the wrist. From there, if my right elbow falls back and the wrist overtakes the elbow, place your left hand in front of you. So left hand is dissected through the middle of your body. Swing the club back, let your right elbow connect with your left hand. Right elbow to left hand, so your right elbow always leads the right wrist, and the wrist always leads the fingertips. That's going to maintain that extension of the wrist. It's going to enable us to keep the bend in the right arm for longer, but it's also going to create this position where right palm turns down towards the ground. If you struggle with iron play, simple solution, you need to look at where the club has reached its lowest point. What is causing that? What's the root cause of the problem? The likelihood is the club face could be really open, and we'd have to release the club early to try and square that club face up. Another issue is you might lack depth in the backswing, so you're systematically having to get the club in a shallow position. coming into the downswing. Second thing is understand your angle of attack. Many people that struggle with the club head hitting the ground before the golf ball because we don't shift enough weight into our left side. So diagnose what one of those issues is related to you. Generate a little bit of clarity within your game, don't guess. A couple of simple feelings. Don't let the left shoulder go up too quickly. Chest starts to extend, so the extension of the body happens too early. Your weight stays on your right side. Flip that on its head. What you're going to do differently? The opposite, left shoulder going up and the chest extending. As the left shoulder stays down and the chest faces the ground, so left shoulder staying down and the chest staying in a flexed position, so the chest faces the ground for a split second longer, is going to allow us to get the hands a little bit more ahead. It's going to enable us to get our weight into our left side, but it's also going to allow us to hit the golf ball first and extend our low point after the golf ball, which many golfers struggle with. Transferring weight a little bit earlier into our left side. Two great feelings it's going to help us establish and stabilise that. Think about when we get to the top of the backswing. Left hip and left shoulder are going to stay lower in transition. That's going to promote your chest to get a little bit more ahead of the golf ball. Left hip and left shoulder staying down. That's going to enable you to get your hands past the golf ball. Left hip and left shoulder staying down. We're going to hit the golf ball first and take a small compressed divot after the golf ball. And a great feeling is going to help us establish that. Think about keeping the bend in the right arm for longer. So left shoulder straight down, maintain the bend in the right arm. That's going to enable us to deal off the irons coming into impact, hit the golf ball first, and then take a small compressed divot after the golf ball. If you want more information regarding in-person lessons, all my lessons are conducted at Glenberry Golf Club here in Scotland. Please feel free to send me a message. I'll get back to you with some details. Also, if you want to improve your game remotely, any country in the world, please feel free to get in touch. If you want to qualify for a free online golf lesson, follow me on Skillist, upload a video of your swing, and comment below with what you'd like to see on my channel in future weeks.